In the heart of the valley, where the river bends like a silver ribbon, Aethelburg slumbers beneath a shroud of mist. Each morning, the clock tower's chime stirs the town awake, echoing through narrow lanes. Dew clings to the cobblestones, catching the first hints of sunlight. Here, time seems to move differently, slow, deliberate, as if the town itself remembers every tick and tock. The town of Aethelburg was old, older than memory itself. Its cobbled streets gleamed when it rained, houses huddled together beneath mismatched roofs. Smoke curled from chimneys, and the air was thick with stories. After dark, gas lamps flickered, shadows danced, and secrets seemed to stir. On this rainy evening, the town blurred into water and grey light. Most people stayed inside, but the streets whispered with possibility. Among the shops, one stood apart, tucked in a narrow alley, its sign faded, Horology Co. The shop's windows were dusty, its interior hidden. Sometimes, shapes moved in the gloom, clocks of every kind, all silent. The shop felt outside of time, a place of stillness in a town of whispers. People said the owner was strange, a man out of step with the present. Few dared to enter, most hurried past, clutching their secrets. Tonight, the rain seemed to urge the town to remember. Horology Co. waited, patient as ever, and the night was just beginning. The owner was Mr. Albrecht, a man as old as the shop itself. His hair was white, his eyes sharp and stormy, his face mapped with stories. He wore a dark waistcoat, his hands perfect for delicate work. His voice was soft, like the ticking of a distant clock. He rarely left the shop, living among his silent timepieces. Children whispered he could stop time, but he sold few clocks. Strangers entered, but never left with a clock. The shop was his kingdom, filled with the ghosts of hours and minutes. He treated each clock as if it had a soul, knowing their stories. Mr. Albrecht was more than a clockmaker. He was a keeper of moments. He understood time as a river, not a line. Lost moments could sometimes be found again if you knew where to look. His shop was a harbor for these moments, waiting for those who needed more than just the hour. He waited for the right customers. Tonight, he would not wait in vain. Her name was Clara, a university student drawn to history and old stories. She often felt she was searching for something unnamed. On this rainy evening, lost in thought, she wandered down an unfamiliar alley. There, Horology Co. called to her from the shadows. Most would hurry past, but Clara was drawn to mysteries. She peered through the dusty window, glimpsing a flicker of warm light. The shop promised shelter, and something more. Without hesitation, she entered. A bell chimed softly, the world outside vanishing behind her. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of wood, polish, and memories. Silence pressed in, deep and expectant. Clara stood still, letting her eyes adjust. The quiet felt alive, as if the shop itself was waiting. A shiver ran down her spine, not from cold, but from the sense of crossing a threshold. She had stepped into another world. The rain and the ordinary town were far away now. Only the mystery remained. As Clara's eyes adjusted, the shop's true nature emerged. Clocks filled every shelf and wall, grandfather clocks, delicate mantles, cuckoos, brass, glass, and chrome. Each ticked to its own rhythm, hundreds of beats overlapping in chaotic harmony. No two clocks showed the same time, each lived in its own moment. Time here was fractured, or perhaps simply different. Clara wandered deeper, feeling like an explorer in a land of forgotten hours. "They all tell the truth," a soft voice said. She turned to see Mr. Albrecht, polishing a clock, his eyes kind. "Each one tells a time, a moment someone wished they could have back." He smiled, mysterious and knowing. The ticking was a symphony of lost chances and remembered days. Clara felt dizzy, as if the world tilted on its axis. She realized this was a place where time's rules were rewritten. Every clock was a story, waiting to be heard, and she was here to listen. The shop's magic was real, and it was calling to her. Mr. Albrecht beckoned Clara to a shadowed corner. There, on a velvet table, sat a clock unlike any other. Dark wood, inky face, strange symbols. Its 3 silvery hands moved backwards, sweeping counterclockwise. "This one is special," Mr. Albrecht whispered. "Most clocks measure the future. This one measures the past." He touched the clock gently. It counts lost moments, the chances not taken, the words unsaid. It runs on regret. Clara stared, mesmerized. A clock that remembered what was lost. It felt both impossible and utterly real in this place. The backwards hands tugged at her heart, stirring unnamed feelings. Here was a machine that honored every missed opportunity. It was a monument to what might have been. Clara felt the weight of her own past pressing close. The clock's magic was undeniable. She reached out, drawn by longing and wonder. The air seemed to hold its breath, and time itself waited. "Go on," Mr. Albrecht urged. "Touch it." Clara's hand trembled as she reached for the clock. The moment her fingers touched the wood, the shop dissolved into mist. She stood in the heart of her own memories, lost moments swirling like autumn leaves. She saw herself as a child, too shy to say goodbye to a friend. As a teen, she tore up a music school application, afraid to try. Last year, she turned down a walk with someone she liked, too busy for connection. Each memory was a small ache, a ghost of a life unlived. She pulled her hand away, breathless, tears streaming down her face. The shop returned, silent and unchanged. Mr. Albrecht watched her, understanding in his eyes. Clara had seen the weight of her own regrets. The clock had shown her the cost of lost chances. She felt both sorrow and wonder. The burden of the past was suddenly real, and she knew she could never forget what she had seen. The clock's truth lingered in the air. Mr. Albrecht regarded Clara with ancient patience. "Time is the only thing we truly have," he said softly. "We spend it, wisely or not. Everyone who enters pays a price. Horology Co deals in time, not money. Some pay with a lost hour, others with moments yet to come." Clara felt a chill as the clock's ticking became a chorus of whispers, her name repeated everywhere. The shop seemed to grow, aisles lengthening, the door receding. The clocks watched her, faces unblinking. The whispers grew louder. "Clara! Clara! You have paid with your lost moments. Now you pay with the ones to come." She realized, with a cold certainty, she could not leave. She was part of the shop now, another story among the clocks. Mr. Albrecht nodded, as if this was always how it must end. The rain outside faded to silence. Time in Aethelburg ticked on, but inside Horology Co, Clara's story was just beginning. The clocks resumed their symphony, each beat a memory, a price, a promise. The shop waited for the next lost soul, and the night, as always, was far from over. In the heart of Aethelburg, time kept its secrets.